Back to a little basketball now. Talking some Nuggets, talking some Clippers, and this is Game 4. It was all about the Clips defense in this one. They held Denver to under 40% from the field. Kawhi held all his doubters at bay with a 30-point, 11-rebound, 9 assists, 4 steal, 2 block shot kind of night, and the Clippers win Game 4. Now just one win away from the franchise's first ever trip to the Western Conference Finals. And with that, we welcome in Chris Broussard. Broussard, is this series as good as over with the Clips up 3-1?
Well, first of all, Jenna, let me say congratulations to the Clippers because this is just a shocking development. I've been told by 2 of our esteemed panelists that the Denver Nuggets were clearly, unequivocally, the best team in this series. So for the Clippers to somehow win 3 of 4 games, I mean, that is rare that an inferior team can be the superior team 3 out of 4 times. It's shocking. So props to the Clippers
my friend.
for their heart. The little engine that could. I mean, it's just incredible. But to answer the question, Jen, it's over. All right, the only question, of course, is does it end in 5 or does it end in 6? I would not be the least bit surprised if Denver wins the next game, pushes it to 6. That's actually what I predicted from the get-go. So that's probably what will happen. We may go 6. But this is over. As far as drama, as far as intrigue, as far as suspense, it's over. Now what we're all watching for is how close or can the Clippers get to their A game for their showdown with the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. Look, I know Nick has been praying against it. He's been hoping against it. He's been trying to seek it out of existence. I
want it to happen.
He does not
I didn't think it was going to happen. I want it to. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Come on.
I do want it to happen. I just didn't think it was going to happen. I did.
Okay,
listen, I picked Denver, but unlike you, Broussard, I pick with my head, not my heart. Now, my head might have taken me wrong, but I told you all before the playoffs I wanted the gauntlet. Portland, Houston, Clippers, Milwaukee. Now, Milwaukee's gone, so maybe it'll be Portland, Houston, Clippers, and then obviously one of the 3 other teams remaining in the East is what it does look like it's going to be. I must admit, it does appear that the Clippers are going to win this series. Now, I picked the Nuggets in 7. I'm not great at math, but I think to win a series in 7, you have to lose 3 times. You would prefer it not be 3 of the first 4, admittedly. And what I think happened last night was the Nuggets let Game 3 beat them twice. The Nuggets know that they squandered an opportunity in Game 3, and it carried over into their play in the first half of Game 4. And then to their credit, despite being down 18, they tie the game early in the 3rd quarter. And then you saw, as Jenna mentioned, the full force of Kawhi, the full force of that Clippers defense play a really exceptional game, almost start to finish defensively. And Kawhi played an A-level game on both ends all game. And people say I'm a Kawhi Leonard hater. Shout out to Kawhi, tying his career high in playoff assists. One day, I do believe Kawhi Leonard's going to get that elusive first career playoff triple-double to match his 1 career regular season triple-double. He will get there. I know some people have doubted him. Some people have said it'll never happen. I do believe one day Kawhi will have a 10-assist playoff game. I truly do, in my heart, believe that'll happen one day. But he was great. And listen, I mean, Brandon, you and I both picked the Nuggets. And right now, at least at the moment,
I was one of those guys.
We both look at least slightly foolish. And our good friend, the esteemed Chris Broussard, who's covered the league for 47 years,
fault, Nick.
looks like the right guy on the set. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to try not to go on a rant here, but, Nick, it's not our fault. Chris, it's not our fault.
Okay, thank you.
This comes down to 2 guys. This is Jamal Murray. This is Coach Mike Malone. Yesterday, I picked him as my X factor. Let me start with the player before I go to the coach. Jamal Murray looks exhausted. Not exhausted, like Game 1 exhausted, didn't have any legs exhausted, but he just looks mentally defeated. We're seeing this guy in the half with his hands on his knees, huffing and puffing, get stopped by Paul George, who we know is a all-time great perimeter defender. and he's just like frustrated and he's not talking. He's emotionless. It's Jamal Murray is a flash in the pan superstar. He had 4 games where he really looked like a superstar player, and it all was in the bubble the last series. Jamal Murray needs to step up and be a contributor.
Okay.
The second thing, Wilds, is Coach Malone. Yes, it is, but that's now you make my point why Coach Malone is to blame as well. Let's look at Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors, and Coach Kerr. You have a player that can drop 50 any night. This guy needs to be on the move all the time. You need to scheme up some stuff to get this guy in his spot. If he's not capable of creating his own plays, help him out. But when you watch the game, you're seeing Jamal Murray at the top of the key or on the wing. The top of the key or the wing. When are we going to see this guy moving around, running through picks? We're not seeing it, and that all falls on Coach Mike Malone. Coach, you need to scheme up some things. Jamal Murray, we need you to show up.
And by the way, Brandon, here's what else is working against Denver. Let's call it a little tension, a little dissension in the ranks. Michael Porter Jr., none too happy after the game with the Nuggets. Offense, kind of like you mentioned. Take a listen to this.
I wouldn't be either.
I mean, that's really up to the play calls. It's really up to the coaches who they want to put the ball in whose hand. We kept going to Yoke and Maul, and that's, I think they're 2 amazing players, so you can never get mad at that. But I just think to beat that team, we got to get more players involved. We got to move the ball a little bit better. We can't be predictable against that team. If I'm gonna be out there on the floor playing a lot of minutes, I think I should voice that. So I'll probably talk to the coaches. Just tell them what I see being out there on the floor. Just letting them know, look, like they know what we're doing. Like we got to swing the ball. We got a lot of players who can play basketball and score. So we got to get some more guys involved.
I mean, I guess.
All right, Wilds, what'd you make of that?
I mean, part of me thinks that it's like really out of pocket to tell the reporters before you tell your coaching staff and just sort of air your dirty laundry. And then part of me thinks, Broussard, got a point. You're down 3-1. In the first half, he had 25 touches. The second half, he had 12 touches, 7th on the team. He's like, guys, I'm really good. I don't know if you've been watching the sports highlights, but I'm good. I was like to steal the draft. So, Broussard, I'm sort of on the fence in this one. I'm kind of leaning towards agreeing with him.
Look, you would like to have him just go talk to Mike Malone privately about it, but let's face it, part of what makes Michael Porter Jr. a special player, or potentially a special player, maybe a star eventually in this league, is his precociousness, his fearlessness, his ultra confidence in himself. And, he's a 22-year-old rookie, essentially, and he lit up the bubble during the seeding games, made the all-seeding team, had 15 points in the first half last night. You don't do that unless you're a fearless kid that thinks you can do anything, against the Clippers, no less. And so the good comes with the bad. And the bad of that is you make statements like this publicly to the media. But he is right. There was a play in the second half where he had, I think it was Lou Williams, posted up, and Murray had the ball and could have hit him. But Murray dribbles to the other side, tells Porter to kind of move out to the wing, and then passes it to Porter on the wing when he's covered. And that clearly frustrated Michael Porter Jr. So, look, I saw this coming. Michael Porter Jr., having played so well in the season.